I'm heard that. Did y'all hear that?
Yep, recording in progress.
All right. Okay. All right. Welcome to the Uncommon Sense Show. I'm your DJ. My main man, Andre. We got Ebony in the place. Now, we're going to talk about the youth. And we're going to kick it like that. Okay, there we go. All right. Subject for today is today's youth. We're going to talk about today's youth. I started off. It's a pretty vague topic as far as my take. The youth is a little lost. They need some direction. They need a lot of direction. They need a lot of everything. They also need to be more humble. I say, like I spoke about this earlier with Ed, spoiled today. Kids today, you know, they don't know what it means to sacrifice. Have to have some type of work ethic, you know, and it's not all kids, but it's some kids. What I'm talking about is the bad apples. The bad apples today, they make it worse on everybody. You know what I mean? And they ain't in it alone, because like I say, everybody got a home to go to. You know what I mean? So on one side of it, I say, hey, you know, if they're a certain age, you blame the parents. And if they're a certain age, you blame them, you know. But Dre, what's your take on that? What's your take on the youth?
You and I have had this conversation quite a few times. I don't know if y'all just saw that message.
Mm-hmm. Saw myself.
We're gonna let it roll out and see what happens. But anyway, there's a lot of things that's missing in the home. I've seen children like turn out to be bad apples who have had like the greatest upbringing. And my thing about that is that you have strong-minded individuals who are established strong-minded as a youth. You have weak-minded individuals who are established weak-minded in their youth. So those who are the ones who allow outside influence. You know what I'm saying? The parents are doing everything right, but they just want to be in the in crowd, so they decide to be a bad apple. But then on the flip side of things, in certain situations, that whole phrase, it takes a village to raise a child. I think most of us can say that we had a village. The village doesn't stick together in this day and age. So we used to put value or instill values into our children. The children used to see the values in themselves. And I'm not saying that we didn't have what's going on these days in our youth, because 91, 92, 93 was some of the worst years in Chicago. But we had the big mamas, we had the mimas. You know what I'm saying? We had, we had the uncles and the aunties and everything, everybody sticking together, raising the children. And I mean, these days, we got more grandmas than anything. Grandma is 32 years old, 35 years old. And this is just an opinion, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I mean, the generations are getting younger, and that's part of the problem. There's this thing also, and I don't want to take up too much time because I know everybody needs to speak, but there's this thing also is like, don't yell at my child, don't touch my child, come to me about my child. Man, when I was growing up, my granny raised me, my great grandmother. She was a minister in the church. Her brothers was ministers, my uncles was ministers, everybody was in the church. She gave permission to everybody with my aunt. You know what I'm saying? Don't abuse him, but tap his ass when he gets out of line. Shit like that, man, is just a lost art, and I'm gonna call it just that. It's just a lost art in raising these kids these days, man. They see all this shit on TV, and then out here in the world, there's this is a whole nother aspect, but they don't see value in themselves out in these streets either. So why should they give a damn about anybody else when they feel like don't nobody give a damn about them?
I agree
I'm
with
gonna
that.
leave it on that note, for the next person.
Johnny, what's your take on the youth, man?
My take on the youth is that I hate these motherfuckers. No, I'm just joking. Well, actually, that's half of a joke. So, problem that I got with these the youth, like I think both of y'all said so far, like it really starts at the parents. You're right. Yeah, at some point you become culpable and you are responsible for your actions. Got that. But if to be perfectly honest, if you were never taught, it doesn't mean you get away with it. But by the same token, let's start. If we're gonna try to fix it, we got to start the problem. And like you said, generations are getting younger, and that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, right? Because just because you have a child at 16 or 14, it don't makes you a piece of shit. What makes you a piece of shit is for you going through whatever the fuck you is whatever happened to you in your life, all the stuff that you saw, everything that you went through, and you didn't make sure that you instilled into your children, look, you ain't gotta go through what the fuck I went through. You could have did this, and this is what I did. I had a child at 16. So how about me and you, we go get you on some birth control. Just little small stuff like that. I went out here trying to mess around with all these chicks or mess around with all these kids, something like that. I mean, not all these kids. That was a mistake. Mess around with all these dudes, whatever. You do all that. So you tell them, like, look, man, this is what it is. Going to try to chase the money, and this is what it's going to lead to. This is what leads to jail. This is what leads to this. This is what it means to have a career. Matter of fact, hey, you know what? I tried to go to college. It didn't work out well for me. Some people don't need to go to college. You ever thought about being a plumber? You know they make money. You ever thought of being an electrician? You know how much money they make? Just stuff like that. But like you said, you got glam grandmas, and they out here 40-something. At 40-something, they still, to be perfectly honest, some of them still look good. They still think that they can go out there and, you know what I'm saying, they've been living in a whole phase from 22 to fucking yesterday. And now that person has to raise a child. So
Right.
that's
and let me make something clear. I'm not saying that, for the general audience who will see this, I'm not saying that everything that I'm saying is on the woman. Let me backtrack just a little bit. In our lives, in our communities, we love our fathers. Some of us didn't have fathers, some of us did have fathers. However, and this ain't for no brownie points, but this is 100% truth, is that the Black woman is the backbone of our households and our communities. When you got that discipline, when you saw that discipline, when everybody found out that little so-and-so did bad in school, it was grandma on the phone telling everybody, give him hell when you see him. Don't treat them good. You know what I'm saying? Those were the ones who was instilling the discipline. Some of us who had a father figure or a father in our life, yeah, our father kicked my ass. But let's be honest, how many fathers wanted to come home and discipline? No, they wanted to come home, have dinner, sit in the fucking chair and watch TV.
Right.
So grandma, great grandmama, mama, all of them had the belts. So I just want to make that clear that I'm not saying that it's grandma's fault or it's the grandma's fault, because these niggas out here ain't doing shit either.
Check this out, great. I want to kind of piggyback on what you said, and it's no shot at any of the sisters at all, because I got mad love for sisters, period. But at the same time, we have to look at the caliber of women compared to the era before ours and our era. You see what I'm saying? What I gather is, and it's not just the women, actually, it's the women and the men, is that you have people who they just having sex with anybody, and then everybody gonna turn their back when the kid pop up. So they have no sense of obligation to the children. So it's just like this. If you brought me to a party, you know what I'm saying, and I came with you, and you leave me standing at the party by myself, I'm gonna be upset. So I translate that to the kids. It's like, shit, they out here fending for themselves, you know what I mean? Because they coming from a household of where it used to be the mother would make that call, like you said, make that call and and have that concern and compassion for not just the children in our house, but the children on the block, because typically the dads don't do that type of shit. And now it's a thing where shit, you know, it's this whole different selfish mentality. So now because as far as I'm concerned, like I said, everybody didn't have a father. You know what I mean? Some did, some didn't. But all you need is one good parent. So I'm saying one good parent that care about you to make sure that you steered in the right direction. Ain't nobody got the perfect parents, and ain't no kid the perfect kid. But some of this shit is fucking unnecessary. You see what I'm saying? Now I don't want to babble on because we got Eb over here, and I want to hear what Eb got to say. Then we get into everything else. But Eb, what's your take on the youth?
I got a lot of different opinions, and Dre, you were right. You were right about a lot. You were right about a lot. But I'm not, and I hate to use the word but I'm using it.
Fair enough.
Intervene, sis.
I look at it, I mean, maybe, okay, I'm in school for psychology right now. I'm getting my degree, you know, in my master's degree, so I'm working on it. And I don't want to say we look at things, I'm looking at things in a Caucasian kind of way, but I'm looking at things in a way is a lot of these children, if we're talking about our children, they are the victims of generational trauma.
Yes.
You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Explain.
So, and when you say, I mean, how far you want me to explain?
Say what you say.
We learn how to beat our kids from being beat by the master because that's how you break somebody. So in order to get our kids to act right, we beat our kids. You know what I'm saying? So we're instilling this in our kids that the only way to get something or to get somebody to act right is by violence or by force. Now, sometimes it works. You end up being a good child because you get it and you understand. But not everybody got that grasp that we had as kids. Okay, I understand why my parents did this. It's so I wouldn't do it again. Some kids internalize that stuff, then that's how they end up being bullies and things like that. So, I mean, I think our kids come from a thing of trauma. And something you said, Dre, about women, it's our fault in a way. And let me explain. It's our fault because we are the first teachers for the kids. So they absorbing our shit. So my thing is before you decide to lay down and make a baby, you need to kind of look deep in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Kind of heal and resolve a lot of issues because otherwise you're just passing them down to the kids. And God forbid you in a toxic relationship with the child is picking up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you have. I can't just blanket it and say the youth are lost because it's reasons why a lot of them are lost. And yeah, we do have bad seeds, but I mean, are they bad seeds or they just kids crying for help? Yeah, they all need their asses beat though. And no, I don't like it.
Positive reinforcement. They need their asses whooped. That'll prevent you.
No, I don't like it.
We all agree they need to be fucked up. Okay, that's
fucked up. That'll prevent a whole lot of dumb shit. Seriously. Because look at, and I don't want to cut you off, but look at it this way. Is, I can say, I'm not, all of us wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? But I look at everybody in this room and I say, we got men and we have a woman. That's more than enough. So I'm saying, ain't nobody got to be all this extra shit. You're just a man and you're a woman. That's enough. Everybody can't carry that title. But see, a lot of that's got to do with what we chose, the routes we chose, and as far as our upbringing. You're going to take both of those and combine them and make you who you are. So I'm saying, but this shit here, with these fucking kids, these kids is out here doing all time, and they may be crying for help. That's one side of it. The other side of it, so like Gray said, they just do, I think Gray said it, doing shit to, no, maybe God said it, doing shit to be part of the in-crowd, all this other bullshit. That pressure ain't never going nowhere. That ain't never going nowhere. Don't make a difference what you taught at home. You still got final say on what the fuck. But these fucking 10-year-old, 12-year-old kids out here carjacking motherfuckers with pistols in their hand. What kind of crazy shit is that? Now I can see if you was a kid and you did some shit, oh, I just took a cat. Okay, it's fucked up. You should get your ass whooped for it. But that's not detrimental to nobody's livelihood or life at all. But this shit here, This shit is crazy. And it's catching on like wildfire. Like all these kids out here.
I think it's part of a bigger design too, but go ahead.
What does that
There's this is the thing though. There's the shift in the environment, man. We grew up in a real hip hop era. I'm not gonna make music a target of this, but it's part of everything, right? The positivity that we had surrounding us. So when people said NWA was teaching us bullshit, and you know what I'm saying, we fought back like, no, it ain't the music for us because we out here rocking the cross colors, we rocking the RGB. You know what I'm saying? We pumping our fists. I'm bumping X Clan, things like that. And then we had gangster rap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was this small community of gangster rap, right?
Right.
Then trap, all that came around. So this is just a small aspect of the situation. But when the positive music declined, even R&B, right? Everything's about fucking and sucking bitches and hoes and niggas and shit like that, right? All of the positivity in the music aspect has changed roles. It's flip-flop. So when you hear any positive, like people could talk shit, man, but MC Hammer sold millions and millions of platinum records.
Straight up.
And he was the shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So nowadays you get a person like that shit is gonna sell wood. That's all it's gonna do. But you got motherfuckers like the Migos, you got motherfuckers like Future, and all these motherfuckers who are selling all of this music, talking about taking drugs and shit like that, right? That's the majority. So the roles have reversed. The accountability in the homes, the accountability in the educational institutions, all of these things have been lost. We got teachers who, some hands, come on, man, like there's one teacher that I could say from Austin, right? Mr. Mack, right?
I was gonna say Mr. Foster.
Guy, Mr. Foster, Mr. Mack, those people who took the interest. But I also had teachers who would literally tell you, I'm here for my check. Y'all can get the fuck out of my face.
Can
right?
you blame them? Can you blame them?
But at the same time, whether you have a room full of bad or a room full of good, it's the accountability of you being an educator. You have to, at some point, take a stance and do better, right? I'm not saying it's going to work. Sometimes it just don't work. You know what I'm saying? But there's the level of accountability. You know what I mean? Ebony, I agree with you 100%. But at the same time, it's these generational curses. It's this generational lacking of building a person up. If a woman has never had a man show her how beautiful she is, if she never, I am the product of a pimp and a prostitute, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took that into my life all the way into my 20s, right? I was in the streets. Y'all remember me. I didn't say shit in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get out. I was trying to go to college. I was on the swim team, and that's what I did. And I went to college. But when I got to college, I learned something. That this shit right here might have worked in high school, but it didn't work out there. So the shit didn't work exactly the way I wanted it to. So I went to the streets. Why? Because for 2 years of my life, I was probably more of a follower than I was a leader. I had the best upbringing in my life that any kid could have without the father presence, but I had a father. I had a mother. I had, a village raising me, and I still went out there. That goes to the whole, saying some of these kids are just trying to be in the in crowd. Yeah, I was one of the motherfuckers for a little while. Mm-hmm. But the accountability, you know what I'm saying? My mother put some shit into my head. My granny put some shit into my head. Those things are lost. These little girls, they're losing, or have lost some of the values of being a real woman.
You have to be coached into that.
These boys are not being taught how to be real men because it's hard for a single mother to raise them.
Okay, so I go ahead, Kennard.
Go ahead.
Okay, so here I'm glad you said that. So my thing is when it comes to I know that y'all said that you don't want to. So you know what? I'm going to do both too. So when it comes to men, let me say the men part first, so I don't get beat up. Niggas ain't been on shit. My daddy wasn't there. My brother's fathers weren't there. Me and my brothers don't have the same father, so none of my brother's fathers were there. Shit, none of the fucking fathers in my goddamn family were there. Now think about it. None of my cousins' fucking daddies was around. One father was around, and then y'all know how it was. Okay, cool. Niggas have not been shit. I get that. Cool. We not gonna talk about the piece of shit dudes who wasn't there, because it was some dudes who was us there, and they fucked you, left you, got you. If your father, if your father left, your boyfriend left, your baby daddy left, whatever, you still gotta raise the kid, right? So we can bitch, moan, and cry all goddamn day. So in the black community, the women majority time raise the children, not the motherfucking dudes. So the generation that we have is a result of the women raising these kids. Now, probably what they're doing is exactly what Dre just said. Women are trying to raise men, which is not fucking possible. They don't know how to think like a man. You don't know how to operate in the male world. So that's what you have now. You have women raising their boys to be bad bitches. That's what's going on right now. So you got women raising these boys. They know how to dress their ass off. These motherfuckers fly as shit. They know how to. And they smart too. You know what I'm saying? Like they're intelligent as far as any masculine type of traits. And I don't mean masculine as in what a woman would define as masculine, because that's the problem too. A woman trying to define masculine is simply what we call toxic masculinity. Oh, you a boy, you should be crying. Men stopped doing that shit a long time ago. Dre, you got kids. I'm pretty sure you don't tell your sons that they can't cry. You know what I'm saying? So
you need to come to me, and you know what I'm saying, if you got to cry, let that shit out.
Right. Yeah. But when you was growing up, well, I don't know. I can talk about myself. When I was growing up, I could cry, but it would be like, all right, motherfucker, get that shit over. You know, don't be no bitch. Okay, I ain't raised no motherfucking punks. Get that shit over.
We cried at funerals, bro. That was it.
Right.
You had to tighten up, and that's some bullshit.
Right. So from one generation, from your father or your parents to you, they told you that this is how it should be. You should be doing all the crime. But you told your son, you fixed it. From your son, I would call that fixing. You change it, whatever. But you fixed it. You said, hey, son, you can come to me and you can cry. So that's one thing that our generation now that we've changed is become more acceptable for our children to come to us, especially the boys, and be like, man, ain't nothing wrong with you crying. Just because you ain't out there in the streets and you thugging and bugging, that don't make you a bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be accountable and understand that, being respectful, saying yes sir, no sir. You know what I'm saying? So that's some shit that we've changed in one generation. Unfortunately, when it comes to the women, I can't say some, a lot of these doggone women don't want to take the accountability and say, look, we as a female black community have been fucking up, and here are the things that we can change. It don't make you fucked up. It simply just means that you're taking an assessment of what it is that you've been doing and where you want to go and how you need to get to that next point. But the women, they constantly take that as saying, oh, he talking about black women. He's saying black women ain't shit. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to improve. The only way you can improve is to take a no bullshit assessment. And that's the problem I see.
Right. Self-reflect. Everybody need a chance to self-reflect, to humble yourself, to see what it is that you can improve on, and to be able to move forward and make things better. Ain't nothing ever gonna be perfect. Ain't gonna always make the right decision, but you got a chance to improve as sure as you're above ground. You know. And what you think about this whole thing right here?
Well, I was trying to say to Johnny, he's absolutely right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but your video froze.
It froze up on the video.
About a man trying to raise a woman, I think that's 100% correct. Like, I mean, I don't care how boyish or how, I feel like I'm one of the guys. The bottom line is I'm still a woman. I still have emotions like a woman. I have a thought process like a woman. Therefore, when my son turned to be about 16, I mean, I have to break it down to you. If I saw my ex in the middle of the street on fire, I will help him by pouring more gasoline on him.
Okay.
But that is my
Here's a liquid.
That's my son's father, and regardless of whether I agree with what he does or not, I still was like, okay, it's time for you to go stay with your dad.
Indeed.
I think I have taught him enough to where he knows what not to do. I don't care what somebody's saying to him, even his own father. He has his own mind, but you still have to look at things from a man's point of view. I can't teach you that. I don't care what I say. I don't care how rough I am. You know what I mean? So, you're absolutely right. And like you said about the women and accountability, as a woman, we get attacked from so many different ways. And I think it's like, out of all people, it's like, y'all gonna say something to us? And I'm not saying that in a bad way,
Mm.
but it's like, how can y'all say anything, which is fucked up. But like I said, I look at things differently, and I can kind of explain in my own way why it is the way it is like that. One of the reasons that our teens and our youth and stuff is messed up now is because, especially the women, especially and the young boys per se, is they have generations of basically being useless.
Right.
And when I say being useless, let's go back to when the government stepped in and said, we're going to give you some money, we're going to give you housing, but we're going to penalize you if there's no man in the house, if there's a man in the house. So
Exactly.
what you do is you get that man out to take care of your kids. Your kids growing up seeing you do everything. I don't need no man. And then young boys watching their mamas do everything. So what do they think? That a woman's supposed to do everything for them.
Exactly. And then
And
Right.
also, I mean, just to add another layer on top of it, like Dre said about the music. Yeah, in the 70s and stuff, it was all about love. It was all about, getting together, working it out and everything. And one thing is I'm a little metaphysical sometimes. Love is the highest vibration. Most of the music we listen to growing up is about love, and we getting those vibrations and stuff. Then when the music industry changed, it lowered the vibration. So our kids aren't getting exposed to that. Like you said, throat baby, come on, man.
right, that's ill. That's ill right there. That's like, you know what I'm saying? But see now it's a thing. Uh, just to kind of, going what you said, Ev, it's like what you was talking about with this. Okay, that's what Claudine was about. Claudine was the whole shit, right?
That's my
So,
movie.
right, it's a classic. I love. Well, I fuck with a lot of old shit. So
Right.
Claudine is like one of my favorites as well. But I'm looking at it like this: it still come down to a matter of choices. You know what I'm saying? That's the freedom of choices, an inalienable right given everybody. You know what I'm saying?
But
So it's basically a decision between, okay, well, I can get all this free shit and not have a man, or I can be with this man and we could do the shit together. So a lot of sisters, you know what I'm saying, at the time, you know what I'm saying, it's a choice. Now, I don't know, like I say, I have my own theories about relationships. I'm not in a relationship. I ain't dated everybody. So I don't know how this person was, how that person was. But I do know that all of us had a choice. Every last one of us. None of us had a choice to be here on this planet, but we can make choices as sure as we here. So I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like this. I'm like, to me, it just seemed like the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, I come from a two-parent household. You know what I mean? So this is all I saw coming up through the door. I saw my father every day, working every day, working with you guys for over 10 years. I saw my mother working full time, all the way up till it was time for them to retire. So I'm saying, so this is all I know. So I go out in the world, I see this, they all working. Well, shit, I want to work too. They married, I want to get married too. So I'm saying, so that was my influence, even more so than music was, or my peers was, or anything else. For me, it started at home. And I chose what I wanted to take, and then I picked some other shit, and then that's what made me who I am. So it's not to say that I made all the best choices. It's just like, to me, it's like, that's what I want. I want that kind of woman like how my mother is. I want to be the kind of man like how my father is. See what I'm saying? Of course, shit didn't work out like that all the time, but shit is good. Shit is
But
what I
your
chose.
exposure different.
What I chose. You see what I'm saying? So I stand on my choices because it's my decision, right or wrong. So I'm gonna stand up and say, hey man, this is my decision. It's what I wanted to do. It's my life. I'm in the driver's seat. I can't blame music. I can't blame nobody else for what I choose to do. So I'm saying I don't give a fuck what happened. That's my choice. And that's just being a man about it. That's being an adult about this shit. So I'm saying?
Well, as far as I'm sorry, go ahead, Ebony.
I'm sorry. You
No,
also
no, go ahead.
you also come from, and I hate to say it, in a rare situation where you are aware of the choices. Have you ever heard of the term learned helplessness?
No. No, I haven't. No.
Learned helplessness is basically everybody. It's like everything around you is a failure.
Mm.
Everything, so that's what you learn to thrive for. You don't know, you don't learn how to do for yourself and everything because what's the point? I see no point of doing this because I don't know, I don't care what's going to happen.
Mm.
It's a sense of powerlessness. So it's like this is inbred in a lot, in like at least the past, I would say at least the generations from maybe like the mid '80s up until now. You know what I
So,
mean?
so let me ask you this: that is that a curse that, or well, it sounds like a bit of a curse or a mentality? You said mentality. Is that are you saying that that mentality is passed on from the adults to the children?
Yeah.
No, it's passed
Yeah.
on from. I don't think it. No, no. I think
Okay.
it's passed on from outside. It's
It's passed on. Okay, go ahead. I'm
the
sorry.
community.
What?
No,
Thank, thank
the
you.
community. This is it's about exposure. Kanara, you just actually proved a very simple point. You came home and you saw your father. You came home and you saw your mother. They worked. They did what they had to do. My great grandmother was a maid. You feel what I'm saying? My pop wasn't there. My grandfather was around and I watched him work. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? He was the one who instilled certain things in me. A man, like the Bible said, a man don't work, he don't eat. He said that you have to take care of the family and you eat last, regardless of what anybody else will say. The
That's right.
family eats first, right? But the thing is that when these children lose one thing, they have to gain it somewhere else.
That's
When
true.
you lose that father aspect, you have to find these children are begging for that role to be filled. And see, they find it out there. You know what I'm saying? They find it in Ray Ray, who's standing on the corner, who got on the Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Who driving the flyers whip, got on every pair of J's that there is. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? And he pulling out knots and he giving them $100 just for smiling at them. You know what I'm saying? Because he know in the future that's gonna be his worker, right? This is what you attach yourself to. It's the exposure in the environment of what you have. These children, like you said, are begging, you know what I'm saying, for help, but there is nothing there. When we talk about like you can go back and talk about the women who would rather get public assistance. No, it wasn't about really rathering them get public assistance.
I'm on the phone.
When we go back to Nixon, who literally we want to blame Reagan, but Nixon started the war on drugs. You know what I'm saying? And then came the assassination of the Black Panther Party. So they started snatching up these brothers, which left these women alone. So the government started that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't see shit from the beginning of time saying niggas wasn't that because we come from tribes of kings who had concubines and wives. So that shit wasn't instilled in us until some shit happened in America.
But I
You
don't
know
think.
what I'm saying?
But Dre, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass the mic off to whoever want it. I don't think as far as at this stage in 2021, we should keep just pulling back up the old shit. Because this to me further, in my mind, further alleviates accountability on the individual. You see what I'm saying? It's just like this. Okay, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Me, 41 years old, I gotta go to work. Matter of fact, when I had my first fucking job, when I was 15, at McDonald's on Central and Fullerton. Okay, cool. I
How many
gotta
times you
go
rock?
not once. Not once. Not up there, but not once. But anyway, so the bottom line is, okay, the schedule come out. Look at the schedule. Okay, I gotta work Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, now it's my choice. Now Friday come up or whatever. Okay, it's my choice if I want to go to work. I know if I don't go to work, straight just said, Bible says, you don't work, you don't eat. So I know if I don't go to work that day or none of them days, I ain't eating shit. So who gotta live with that at the end of the day? That's me.
That's
I gotta live with that.
Okay.
So that
so
was
that's the
my
problem of
choice.
right, but that okay, so this goes back to what I was saying before. That is a man's mentality. That's not a woman's mentality in America. Well, yeah, that's not a woman's mentality in America. A man is from the time a man is before you able to talk, you're gonna be a man, you gotta take care of your family. Now, whether you do it or not is something completely different. That's obviously different. But every man is ingrained from a child You taking care of this family, it's your responsibility. You're gonna pay for it.
Okay.
Women don't have that same thing. Women can literally check out of life, right? So if that woman is going to raise this little boy starts to get those feminine qualities of, well, maybe I give me a sugar mama or something like that. Because they bitches. These little niggas are bitches.
Some sissies though. But Ebony, I want you to say this thing. What is a woman's mentality? I want to hear directly from a woman what a woman's mentality is.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know because I know I consider myself a woman, but I don't know what another woman considers. You know what I mean? Just like you, it's three guys on this panel. Even though y'all might have similar things, y'all still each have your own ideas of what a woman. You know what? Say it again. A woman's what?
A woman's mentality.
A woman's mentality. I mean, what kind of woman we talking about?
Well, I mean, we can go with your mentality. We can start there. I mean, you can't. I know. It would be kind of not fair, I would say, or even not fair on my part to speak on behalf of all people, because I can't speak for all people. I can only speak for myself. So I would expect you to speak for yourself in your mentality.
My mentality is, as a woman, knowing I'm a woman, knowing the qualities I have and my experiences, that I'm looking for a man that knows that I need him.
Okay.
And I don't mean financially. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't even believe in this 50-50 stuff now as far as what, relationships and things are. I think I have a more traditional mentality as far as relationships. Now, I do not want to get married. I am not a person who believes in marriage.
Okay.
But my thing is I'm weird. So you asking the wrong person because I'm real. I don't want to get married, but I need a man,
Okay, well,
but even with that, what Ebony, what did you growing up? What did you have as far as like?
Were married until I was about 10 years old. About 10, 11. They got divorced. It was a blended family because my mom had a son, my dad had a son, and then they had me and my little brother together. So when my dad left, I called one of my brothers. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I guess what I'm trying to ask is from that point, even at a young age, we develop these pictures, right? Whether the father can step away and not do anything, or whether, they step away, and understand that I still have children to raise, right? These are the concepts that are given to us. It's our environment. You know what I mean? And of course, like Nara said, of course, these are the choices that we have to live with, right? But we got to understand that everybody is not given proper instruction.
That's true.
Literally.
True.
Some of these kids out in the street never see a real man.
Right.
Okay.
And they don't have a Cosby show to watch.
No. And it's seriously.
Okay, well, family Matters. They don't have a Family Matters to watch.
But still, even with that though, there's another thing. So let's go to the T. I'm sorry, and I can't hear you.
Let me backtrack a little bit. I grew up in a house that my mother did not work until I was about 10. You know what I'm saying? My father was a man. You know what I mean? He took care of everything.
All right.
And that's the thing. That's part of the that was what she was exposed to. You get what I'm saying? Each four of us have been exposed to different things.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got four different ideas, right? But the consensus is that we need to help the children, right? But let's say we're 4 out of 10, and the other 6 have given up on the children. See, that's the problem right there. That's the problem right there. So these kids are more susceptible to see that nobody gives a damn about them. This is what's put in front of them, right? Regardless of what people believe, regardless of what people think, we have not lived in their shoes. All we can do is talk to them. So
Right.
back in the day when I was in the streets with cats, back in the day when I was in the streets, talking to these kids, it was like, don't nobody give a fuck about you. So why should we? And that has progressed even further and further and further and further.
Right.
But it's because of what they were exposed to. See, and that's the thing. We want to hold them accountable for the things that they do when they don't even know what the fuck accountability is.
Mm.
So my question, Dre, when it comes to starting out, okay, so as it relates to
Sorry. Go ahead.
as it relates to accountability and stuff like that, I agree that we talked about children, little sponges. They soak up whatever you tell them. Yeah, you're in a 15-year-old body, but you're really a fucking 12-year-old by maturity level or knowledge level, right? Okay, so at some point it has to be on the adults, right? So that's why I think it's necessary to go back to that regression of, okay, your parents, then your parents, then your parents, and then learn how we got into the situation. But then we got to fast forward because we can't go back in time and fix anything, and then say, okay, now it has to be parents. The parents have to like take accountability and say, okay, this is the state of affairs, and this is what we need to fix. What I'm seeing now, this is me. I see that men of our generation have already started. Men of our generation have already started to fix things. I'm pretty sure you're not telling your son, "Hey man, you're gonna be little Foe Junior." I'm guessing you probably didn't say that, right? But we know when we were kids, we had buddies that was like, "Oh, this nigga is a GD, his daddy a GD, and they trying to get him to be little GD." Like, God damn, nigga. Right. So there's other stuff in there too. That's just an example I'm using. But so the guys, I'm not saying the men are perfect. Please don't think that I'm saying men are perfect. I know still people out there that's fucked up, but there's fucked up individuals all across the board. But for the most part, by and large, guys are making they're thriving as far as trying to change stuff. Whereas, unfortunately, our Black women, they're not taking that accountability overall. I'm talking about the individual woman, just overall, and saying, look, I know my grandma didn't teach me how to fill in the blank. I know my mama didn't teach me how to fill in the blank. Who fucking cares? You're an adult now. At some point, you're an adult. You're supposed to figure that shit out and do whatever. This is me, personally. My father wasn't there. I hated that motherfucker. We didn't have a good doggone relationship. He got out of jail and he kept going back. I hated that motherfucker. Everything about my life, to be perfectly honest, I am the way I am. I am completely who I am because everything in the forefront of my mind was I do not want to be this motherfucker. So I'm not saying it has to be that serious for everybody, but there has to be a thought of, I may not know what right looks like, but I know damn sure this won't be repeated in my house. You know what I'm saying? So you may not know the best thing about this. You may not know the best thing about whatever, but you know damn sure some stuff, no, not in my house. My father, not my father, but your father used to beat you too much. You didn't like that. Okay, cool. You got kids now. Guess what you're not going to do? Beat your kids that much. Or at least you shouldn't. You should take some, you know what I'm saying? You know you have some issues going on. Maybe you got a lot of our women, you talk about trauma, got raped, beat up, parents on drugs. They was out of the house at like 15 years old, like living on their own at 15. That's some serious fucking trauma. And you as an adult never worked through that shit? What the fuck is that? You never went to go get no get no therapy. You've got some unresolved shit that you need to deal with, and you have it's impossible for you not to put those impart those issues into your child. That's it.
Generations we've been taught that therapy is for white people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We just internalize and the shit just sits there and rots and festers and stuff.
Say that shit.
Also, like you said, you had the wherewithal in you to say, I'm not going to be this way, because somewhere in your mind you had experienced enough to say, okay, this is not normal. You got people who ain't seen nothing but what they have seen, so therefore they think it's normal. Like I mean, this is just a joke. I heard a friend who thought her friend's parents were crazy because she went over their house and ate dinner, and instead of having real mashed potatoes, her mother brought out a box of flakes. She had never seen it before.
Mm.
So she was like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
So just think about that. There are kids who ain't grew up and seen nothing but their mamas do dope. Their daddies beat on them. Now they could be together, but guess what? They beating on each other, they cheating on each other, they cussing out the kids, arguing, fighting stuff. So sometimes, even being together, there's still that toxicity that you learn and you instill. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
what about the 30 plus? So I understand that we're talking about the children have not seen, but what happens is those children then grow up to be adults. So you can only teach what you know. So at what point do we blame these 30 pluses and 40 pluses and basically our aunties? That's what I'm asking.
But also, like I said, I'm coming from a psychology perspective. Depending on what age you experience trauma in your life, do you know it changes your brain?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning it changes how you think, it changes how you act, and it changes this right here called the prefrontal cortex that actually change. That's how you make decisions and stuff. So if you learning, even though kids they are resilient enough that if something happens to their brain is young enough to like redirect the stuff. But that ain't saying that it's being redirected in the right direction. So who's to say that these kids are so fucked up they don't know how to make the right decision? And I know
No, not kids, adults.
that's not an okay, but guess what? Kids grow up with bad decision making kids grow up to be bad decision making adults if it's
That's
something
right.
that they don't know how to change. Is what I'm saying.
Right, but then that means this is the problem that we can't fix. Then like it's no possible way to have it fixed.
It is a possible way.
It's a way to have it fixed, but guess what? You gotta want to do better.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You have to know that this shit ain't right. This shit ain't working. I'm not, my relationships keep breaking up. I got 6 baby daddies or 6 baby mamas. Damn, maybe it's not them, it's me. What am I doing wrong? If you don't have that presence of mind to do that, then it's always gonna be somebody else's fault. And that's where the lack of accountability coming in. Now, I'm not saying that this is with everybody, but I'm just saying, look at these, like I live in North Lawndale. I stay right off of 21st and like right off of Cermak. So all I hear is peace. You know what I'm saying? And it affects me because I'm tired of it. These kids normalize it. So they have to learn how to redirect their brains around it, either becoming a part of it or getting the hell away from it.
These kids got to go ahead, Dre.
Everything that was positive though, that could help a lot of these kids that helped us, right? A lot of these things have been eliminated out of our neighborhood.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Community centers, after school programs, things like that. Um, I mean, it's just you got people out here who are trying to reach back, and it's like they're given a 10-foot task, but the handle is only 3 feet long. You know what I'm saying? And you're trying to figure it out. This is like the reason why we're on this, you know what I'm saying, giving our perspectives on these things and giving, taking ideas and stuff like that. It's about the implementation of what can we do. You know what I'm saying? We take what we can do, we come up with the ideas and how do we implement them. You know what I'm saying? People have been just shut out, like, in our communities from helping these kids. You know what I'm saying? We had stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? When we was growing up, we had places to go when we was growing up. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff is like non-existent now. It's hard because you can come up with so many things.
Hold on. Now I will say this, and I you know what? I don't fucking hate to say it because it's the fucking truth. I don't know if y'all remember, but we was talking about, like you just said, Dre. Well, they don't got nothing to do, But there was a community center. I don't remember what side of town it was on, but it was a boxing center, and the kids would come in there and they would teach them how to do boxing and show them all these other things and this and that and the third. What did they do? Motherfuckers broke this type of shit. So now
Did you say that again, Kennard? I didn't hear what you said. They did what?
They did what?
Maybe 2 months ago, there was a community center. It might be on the south side. I don't remember exactly what it was, but they did boxing in there. They would teach kids how to box and a bunch of other shit. Motherfuckers broke in there, stole the computers, even had the cameras with them stealing the computers on the fucking news. And ain't no guess what color they was. I would say it the way the fuck I said and what color they was. Now 10 to 1, there ain't no white motherfuckers coming to the hood somewhere and stealing computers out of the damn rec center. So when we talk about it, ain't shit to do. As far as I'm concerned, if you seek, you'll find. This shit out there if you want to do it. I have a hard time believing it ain't no why. I have a hard time believing it ain't no open courts. It ain't no none of this. It's out there if you want to go find it. Right now, today, I'm living proof of it. I'm 41 years old and I play softball because I found it. I went out there. This and that. Right. He want to get with a little chick. He gonna be as spend some time with her, and that's a universal fucking thing. So I can't buy that at all because I know if that's something that you really want to do, way to go do it.
But ain't shit in the hood though.
Shit.
What's in the hood? Nigga, for real. Like,
you know what I mean?
You come over here. You come over here. Ain't shit here. They done took everything about it. Columbus. I used to box at Columbus Park. That shit is dead, dude. The YMCA's are dead with programs.
So they ain't got nothing out there.
You want to know why?
Bro.
Because
they ain't got nothing out there.
Funded. Okay, it's because of how things is funded. The fact that you can't get it is a beautiful thing, but it's also a sad thing. It's beautiful because you have lived the type of life that you know what you want, you know how to go get it. You know what I'm saying? But then you unfortunately ain't the average motherfucker out there. Your exposure to things were completely different to what's average out there. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but for me it wasn't always.
Also territorial situation. Also territorial. The things that you see, man, out there, bro. These kids ain't gonna be willing to step out of their comfort zone to go to other sides of town. No, you know what I'm saying? There could be 50 million programs on the south side. That ain't gonna help the kids on the west side. No. You know what I'm saying?
So that makes sense. But see, here's the disadvantage to that, Dre. It goes back into that spoil shit. I've been talking to. I don't know if I talked to you about it, Dre, but I know I talked to Ebony about it. But these kids are fucking spoiled because they got to have everything right there at arm's length reach. That's the problem with these kids. To me, everything got to be easy for them. It's got to be right there. It's got to be just accessible that you ain't got to make no effort at all. That's not that by itself. That right there in itself takes you away from real life shit. It's just like
I don't know, Kennard. As a kid, I wouldn't go to the south side to do shit. Unless I had a destination to go, I wouldn't go to the south side.
Right. We didn't either. We heard the bullshit in high school. You can't go to the south side. And guess what? We ran the fuck out the west side. I wasn't on Central and Iowa. I was on Laramie. I was on Madison. I was here. I was there. I was up and down on this block. Up on foot. I ain't had no damn car. We was
on the bus.
Shit to do. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Just like, okay, it's like saying, okay, that mentality is like saying, okay, my first stop, going back to that at McDonald's, was on Central and Fullerton. I was not convenient. I couldn't walk there. I had to take a fucking bus. I had to take a bus to a block to the motherfucker. So I had to get up, get on the bus, and go out of my comfort zone to go and get a job. It turned out to be okay. When we go kick it, we were kicking at the Brickyard. I know y'all remember that. Brickyard was right. It was 2 bus rides away. So guess what? Out of our comfort zone.
2 bus rides. Right?
You would take Central to
Central. Fullerton to Derrick. What's that?
Talking about right. So that's like out of your comfort zone. Now, if I did everything on my comfort zone, I would have been on the block. Ain't nothing going on the block. So I agree with you there, Trey. Ain't nothing happening.
You said that, right? That even though you did that, it was still other kids who did not do that. They stayed on the block, right?
Fair enough.
Let's just say that the kids that stayed on the block, these are the kids that don't leave the block now. These are their kids.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely their kids. Yeah.
But shit, it's like if you just go a 2 miles in any direction, it's gonna be better shit than what the fuck you see right here. You gotta stand the fuck up. You can't sit up and just slip. You don't want to just be at, okay, I'm gonna play video games. Then I'm gonna go outside and twirl in circles on the fucking porch.
Those are kids who
no.
Let's put it that way.
Hell no.
Not the spoiled kids, right? But still, in this day and age, there's still a lot of kids who ain't getting the shit that you feel that a lot of these kids got.
And why they ain't getting it?
It was either Channel 2 or Channel 5.
You know the poverty rate.
Yeah, it wasn't even that long ago.
I get
They
it.
had this poll. They had this poll. Dude, you know it's like 73% of the inner city kids have never seen downtown.
Nope.
Wow.
How old is that, Dre?
Because nobody took them there. Because
Wow.
nobody
Ain't nobody
told
take
them.
hold on. I was a
Man,
kid.
but yeah, but you just said, man, that you saw your father work, bro. You
I
saw
didn't
your
see him
mother
go
work.
downtown. I didn't
No,
see him go downtown.
listen to what I'm saying, Kennard. You just said I saw my father go to work every day. I saw my mother go to work every day. That's a value. That is a value that was instilled in you from the time you were born. That is what you were groomed to see. That is what your father put in you and your mother put in you. These
Okay.
kids, that's not being put in them. Why do I work a job when the first thing that I'm seeing is Pookie over here with the band, standing on the block, selling the jab? You know what I'm saying? It's
I get
about
I'm still
perspective.
stuck on the downtown thing. Niggas, they don't ride the
No,
bus no more.
73,
Like,
it was
I
I
know
never
that
used to take
73% of
the
these kids have never seen downtown.
like real talk.
wow.
Real talk.
Hold on, Ed, go ahead.
That's just out of basic curiosity. That's amazing to me. Like I mean,
They don't even know the bus routes, right? They
wow.
don't know how to take the bus.
I was worried about shit, but I was coming
I'm
through.
Wow.
saying that's their fault. I'm not saying that that's their fault. You know what I'm saying? But this
Right.
is about exposure. It's about
Right.
what kids are being, pushed to do.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree with that. I agree. Ed,
Okay. It's also, I mean, since we're talking about all the stuff that's been cut out, the most important thing that's been cut out is education. And the reason they did it or how they got to do it is basing what the schools get for funding on property tax. Everybody over here is renting. It's not that much property tax. And what I'm saying is when they do the property taxes or whatever, it's not coming in these neighborhoods. So
It's true.
the schools are underfunded. Teachers are overworked, which means a lot of kids who they say got like learning disabilities, that's wrong. They label these kids, give these kids stigma because you get more money per school per more kids that are on medication for ADHD and all these other oppositional defiance disorder things.
right.
So you labeling these kids, you treating them different. They already not learning anything. Hell, my daughter she went to North Lawndale. She graduated in 2000. My nose running, y'all. I got allergies. Hold on. I'm gonna keep talking. Shit,
Go ahead. We good.
So anyway, she went to Illinois State. She could not do well because even though it was one of the best schools, college prep, and she was in honor classes and everything, she still ended up not doing well because even if this was like the top one of the better schools at that time in the neighborhood, it still was below the worst school in any other neighborhood. So she
Right.
started good and stuff, and she got complexes, and she ended up she flunked out and ended up having to go to what's the name of that damn school down there? Heartland.
Lincoln. Oh, Harley.
Heartland. You know what I'm saying? So this happens so much. And my thing is she even dared to try. It's some kids that already they just don't feel like it's worth anything. They don't feel like they worth anything. So they don't try. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I say it's a learned helplessness. Not so much as saying I'm helpless and I can't do this, but I'm not gonna do this because ain't nobody else around me doing this shit.
But so what? I mean, but
Doing is robbing, stealing, and slinging dope. You know
so that mean that we all should do the same shit. So that mean that everybody should be out there robbing, stealing this and that because everybody else is doing it. That's a followers mentality. What's wrong with, as they say, being in your own lane? Everybody wants to talk about
That's what was instilled, Nard. The
That's
followers
what
mentality is instilled in them.
that was put in
get
you.
that.
It
I
was
get
put
that.
in you by somebody who had it in them. You can't teach what you don't know, and you don't know what you ain't taught. You see what
That's what I'm trying to get you to understand, Kennard, is that what you've been taught in your home, these kids aren't being taught. So the value is different, especially with life. We on this call, we value our lives. These kids don't because they don't see the value in it. They don't see, you know what I'm saying, the value in feeling good because you went and did 8 hours, right?
Right.
Or becoming an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying, starting a business, you know what I'm saying, buying property. Me and you had that conversation. We was on the phone for 2 hours.
Just talking about that. Yeah.
you buying the house, us about to buy one. You know what I'm saying? They don't have those. That ain't even in their mind. Think about it.
Everybody think
Those,
they go.
those grandmothers and mothers with the houses over there in the Austin neighborhood, their houses aren't even paid for still. And they've been in those houses for 50 and 60 years. Why?
But
Because they had to keep the mortgages to help this or do this and do that. There's so many, dude, this spectrum is so big, bro.
Yeah,
Wait a
it's
minute.
so
So
many.
big.
It's
Wait a
like
minute. Wait a
it's
minute.
like jungle juice. Like Dre said, it's like jungle juice. It's this reason, then it's this reason, then it's this reason. You know what I'm saying? To make this perfect storm that we got here with all these little fucked up ass kids. It's not just one reason. You can't just pinpoint one reason why these kids are fucked up when there's so many things wrong with where they grow up that you can't just point at one and say that's it. You know what I'm saying?
I
It
get
is a
that.
period.
As many reasons as it is for people to be in messed up situations, and obviously you can't change the past. I never have, and I don't think I ever can understand the I'm not going to, or the desire not to want to get better. I don't get that. Like, okay, so we was in high school. I was talking to someone, and they had people that was in the game, and they was in the game, and they was in all the rest of their good stuff. So I'm talking to a man, and like his somebody close to them died. They was in the game. They was in the game. They got shot. So he messed up about it. So we talking, sitting in who's ever class, like, hey man, what? I'm asking, like, why don't you get out of this shit, dog? Like, your brother just died. Like, come on, man. And that wasn't your only family member who died in this bullshit. Your father, your sister, your nigga. You know how the game is. Like, y'all might have had some money, but they ain't nobody in your family living a long life, man. And he was a smart dude, but he was just like, hey man, it's just what it is. No, the fuck it's not. It's really not. Go do something. Like, I don't understand that. I really can't understand it.
Oh,
and I get that it's possibly because I guess the privilege of growing up with parents or grandmother and mother who gave a damn, but I can't get that.
But goddamn it, you gotta give a damn about yourself. That's the thing about it.
But listen, I had a situation where I was talking to this young girl, and she was about maybe 16, 17, and I was asking her, well, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to go to school? No. You want to go to trade school or something? Well, you want to, you want to go to hair school? She said no. I said, well, what are you gonna do? At this point, I'm curious as shit because I'm like, well, if you don't want to do nothing, what? And I already knew what she was gonna say. She pretty much was like, I'm gonna have a baby. I'm gonna get Section 8. I'm gonna have a few more kids. I might go do some hair. And I said, okay, and what else? She said, that's it. And I said,
how old was she?
She was about 16 or 17 at this time.
Wow.
Unfucking
But why does she feel that way?
Because she's seen some family members come the fuck up by just riding.
Kennard, I want you to answer that. Kennard, I want you to answer that. Why does she feel that way? The mic is out, bro.
Yeah, hold on.
Now, hear me.
Yeah, now.
Okay, I'll answer the question. Why is it like that? It's because
why does she feel like that?
Why does she feel that? Why does she have that mentality? Because she's fucking lazy. Because this is the type of the shit that. Wait, hold on. I want to answer it. Hold on. I won't cut you off here. I just want to answer it because she's fucking lazy. Because this is what she's seen the elders in her house or her peers doing the exact same shit. Now, here's the thing. We talking about, I'm assuming she's an able-bodied person, but she's already got the mentality of, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get this free shit over here, and then I'm gonna hustle on the side and do a little hair when I feel like it, but everything else is all taken care of. See, that's that type of, that's what I'm saying. It's one thing, when you got motherfuckers out here who got a hustle mentality, then they'll do whatever they can to avoid having to get up and punch the clock every day. And this is the new hustle. This is what this is.
Got that idea one day, like, hey, I'm not gonna do shit with my fucking life.
I have to say, hold on now, because I'm a hustler.
He said, hold on, goddamn.
I don't subscribe to that. I call myself a worker. That's what I am. I'm a worker. I get up.
Call it what you usually call it, Kennard. His
No,
jive ass.
I get up with an attitude every morning because I gotta work, but I do.
and so do I. I don't want to do this shit.
All I want to do is
But
go
you
to
said
work.
it. You said it.
You know what I'm saying?
You said it,
But
Kennard.
I know I gotta hustle. I'm a hesitant hustler.
Hesitant.
Hesitant. I don't want to do this shit.
I mean, Ebony said it. The girl was 16, man. You said it. She saw it. Yeah, lazy, sure, whatever. But she saw that. She saw somebody come up. She saw somebody come up. Yeah, there's a bit of laziness in this. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, dude, there's too many aspects, right? People have been held down for so long that when they do see the easy way to come up, come on, man. The proof is in the pudding. This goddamn PPP loan shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody took that shit and fucking ran with it.
Come on, Dre.
Because nothing never came to us.
Hold on, Dre. Wait. I want to say one thing. Evan, hold on 1 second. I just want to address what Dre just said. How the hell are you held down at 16 years old? What the fuck was you held down?
I didn't say she was held down. I didn't say she was held down.
No, but that's what I was going at. They'll come off like that. These kids will come off like, oh man, you know, they will see. This is what I'm saying. This is why I fought the adults. This is why I fought the adults at right here. Is to perpetuate this shit. To even come off and say that type of shit around kids, it has a detrimental effect on them. Because now they're gonna go out with the mentality, not even fucking trying. Now they already got the mentality in their head. Oh man, they ain't gonna give me nothing. They ain't gonna do for me. So I'm gonna go and take Section 8. I'm gonna take this type of bullshit.
Johnny, you hear me, Johnny? Is he not answering the question though, right?
Yeah, I was actually with y'all until I just thought about something when Kennard just said when he said looking at the what's called. Okay, so what y'all saying? I get what y'all two, you and Ebony are saying. Kennard, I'm understand what you're saying, and the reason why I understand what you're saying is because now I'm about to blame the kid for this part because because it's part of whoever her mama, auntie, whoever she living with. Clearly, that's their situation, right? That's how they make their stuff. 16 come on, man. 16 years old. We didn't know shit about no fucking social. What she say? Social Security or whatever the fuck it was. So yeah, 16-year-olds, you don't know nothing about that. Somebody has to get that. That's the only way you'll find out about that. Okay, but at 6, go ahead.
Huh? Second.
What if her mother told her that's what she needs to do?
I know. I get that. So now here's the other issue. Although all of us had good in our family, from hearing everybody on this thing, you've had good influences and stuff from your family. You have positive role models in your life, or at the very least, people you could look to. I'm not gonna speak to nobody else. I've had fucked up people in my life, right? Crackheads and motherfuckers just stealing shit and fucking taking beds out the house. Crackheads running down the street with mattresses. So you know, we all come from West Side, so life wasn't peachy. I don't imagine for everybody. So my thing, so my thing is, at 16, I was old enough to know I ain't about to smoke no fucking crack. I knew that much. So I knew I didn't want to do that, although I saw it my entire life from being a kid all the way up until as an adult, whatever. So I knew for a fact that ain't what I want to do. So I get that y'all are saying that that's all they're exposed to, true. But at some point, that child has to make the decision like, I don't want to smoke crack and be sucking dick on Roosevelt and Cicero.
No.
I just...
You're right. But when it comes to the terms of life, though, as far as money, I'm sorry. Ebony, you so low, I don't even know I'm talking over you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, way better.
Okay. So let's take it back even a little further. I'm going to ask you a question. What did you eat growing up?
On what days? Because we may not have ate. Oh, no, just joking. All right, so we ate regular all these food
though. Did your parents or your caretaker provide, like, I mean, give you meals or give you bags of chips or cook noodles? Or was it lead in the water? Was it lead in the walls and shit? You know what I'm saying? You have to look at every aspect of this. We ain't had the best of anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all of this stuff ultimately plays into the state of mind. I know that sounds crazy, and I'm not making excuses. It's just I look at things from a different aspect, and it's like I want to know the why of the why, because for me it wasn't satisfying just to say, oh, these little motherfuckers lazy, oh, these little motherfuckers bad, the mamas ain't shit, the daddies ain't shit. I want to know why they ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So the child that chooses to smoke crack, this is okay, real life story. This girl in doggone 8th grade, so fucked up. Girl in 8th grade was out there smoking crack. I wanted to know what the fuck would possess you to do that. Kids was out there smoking weed in 8th grade. Okay, fine. I wasn't on that, but at the same time, it's weed. I ain't never saw nobody fucked up from weed. You know what I'm saying? Weed don't make you lean on Laramie and fucking that's So I'm looking at this 8th grader like, she chose to smoke crack.
But why?
I don't know.
But that's the thing, though. Like, we can make all the assumptions in the world about why a person does stuff. But, I mean, Kennard, you said it. Johnny, you said it. Ebony said it. I said it. The things that we're exposed to will definitely have an effect on us. See, it's one thing to say, okay, don't be a goddamn crackhead. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to smoke crack. I don't want to smoke crack. But if my mother tell me, this is a lick in the system, you have a couple of babies, you want to be a mama, you know what I'm saying? Even if you don't want to be a mama or whatever, you'll get free assistance, you'll get this per child, you'll get this, and this. That's a different situation than smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? But they see that as a fucking come up.
But I'm saying, so with that, okay, so with that lady, the child that Ebony was talking about, and it's okay, so at Thanksgiving, in the most fucked up family, there's always one. In the most fucked up family, there's something, even if it ain't in your family, everybody we all grew up in the hood, so we all know everybody in the hood ain't fucked up. So you saw Mr. Johnson wake his ass up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work every day. You saw Miss Davis. You know what I'm saying, out there selling snowballs to get. So you seen, but shit, the fucking mailman is goddamn black in our neighborhoods. So you've seen productive people. You just chose to glom on to these motherfuckers. That's the part I don't.
The majority of the people that you surrounded by ain't Mr. Johnson, ain't Mrs. Davis. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they are.
Hold on. You don't see the mailman?
Your level of peers too. You understand?
What's different? But what's different from Mr. Johnson or the mailman? What's different from them and my mama? What's different from them?
What's different from them and your
mama? If my mama telling me that this shit is okay and she ain't going to jail, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just a way to get the system. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's how I think, but this is what's going on.
No, I mean what you're saying, yeah.
Johnny,
what's the problem? What am I supposed to wake up from? What am I supposed to wake up from? This is what my mama did. You know what I'm saying? It's the value and still. Period.
I can't talk about the kids, so I'll talk about myself. When I watch TV, I would see this is how I want to live. You know what? That I can say that right there. I knew I didn't want to stay in Chicago, and definitely not the west side of Chicago, because I saw like the Huxtables, like, wow, that's fucking real. I never experienced it, but I'm like, this is some amazing shit if people could really live like that. Man, you know what I'm saying? So you see stuff like that, and then as I grew older, I was like, I'm getting out this bitch as quick as I fucking can. And the reason why I'm getting out is because nobody that I know personally lives the way I want to live. So I need to get the fuck away from y'all, because y'all don't know shit. At least about whatever the fuck that part.
But that right there is a part of the spectrum, right? That goes again. We had the hustlers. You know what I'm saying? We had a different world.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Gotcha. Okay.
You just said it. I saw this on TV and I knew if that was a possibility. Think about what TV is now. That shit goes hand in hand, man. There's just too many damn avenues.
Everybody on TV now is successful for doing some lazy or fuck shit. Excuse my language. You get Cardi B.
That is true.
Came up robbing people. It's either you selling drugs, you shooting people, you selling and shaking your ass, or you being messy as fuck. You know what I mean? So this is
the most popular shows.
Cosby Show. We had different world. We had, shit like that where we saw black people actually being professional. So in our minds, it's like, okay, if they can do it, maybe we can. But now, if she can shake her ass, I can shake mine.
Right.
If
That
you
is
can go
true.
shoot and
That
ride,
is true.
I can do it too. So my thing is it's what that's why it's called programming, y'all. That's why it's
I got a
called
suggestion. If we kill off, like, hear me out. If we kill off the majority of the kids, we just start over. Boom. We fixed all our problems.
who raising them though.
I don't know about that. That's a good
That's what
question. I'm glad. I'm glad you.
Oh, and hold on. My son is over here crying, y'all. He been over here crying because he walked in when I said something about the girls smoking crack in 8th grade. He over here died laughing. Nigga, you been on my vape pen wet. Go get it. Get it. But see, also you see the way I talk to my kids and stuff. I mean, a lot of people don't have that relationship with them, and a lot of kids feel they gotta hide stuff or they rebel against what they see. My kids know that mama is a hot, scalding piece of mess, and I mean I'm a hot mess, and they know they know I'm ignorant as hell too. So it's like they grew up knowing that. They not like, are you like me? He's like me. But what I'm thinking is what my thing is I made sure my kids got to see all parts of being
Put him on the phone and ask him what the hell is wrong with this generation. He gonna speak for his entire generation. What the fuck is wrong with y'all people?
My son about to be 18, so what's wrong with this generation?
Honestly, it's just a lot of stuff that was led over from the past generation, not looking at what they were doing around us.
Oh, basically he said it's left over from the earlier generation not paying attention to what they did around them.
Like, think about it.
That makes I agree with that.
Deal with are either leftover remnants from people back then, or from direct.
So basically, y'all putting up with our shit. That's what you're saying? We putting up with either you putting up with our neglect.
To an extent, yes. Like when it comes to the music industry, a lot of the things that y'all say that y'all don't like all y'all only rap about drugs, money, and sex. That's kind of what songs were about back then. Y'all just
He's right.
We talked about selling drugs. Y'all talk about doing drugs.
They selling them too. It's the same thing. He's right.
I'm just messing with him. But you are right. Thank you so much, Dave. That's him. So
good job, young man.
Good job.
That coincides with what I said earlier as far as shit goes and shit progresses. Like you hear like a lot of the older cats say, "Oh man, we was, like, it was like this when we was doing it, and we had this and we had that." Man, that shit just progressed. Like the generation before ours could say how fucked up we was, and they do. They say how fucked up we was, and their shit was so much better, and it just goes on and on and on. But the fact remains is it was always fucked up shit. It was always drugs. It was always fucking gangs. It was always fucking people dying. Now to this magnitude, no, this shit increases. Now we went before from like brass knuckles and baseball bats to
the 80s, the crack era.
80s, like the 80s shit. And you go from that to motherfucking like one dude out the crew got a pistol, or two dudes that got a pistol. Now they got semi-automatic weapons on the fucking street. They got fucking like shit like M16s on the street.
And they don't know how to fucking shoot them. And that's the worst part. That's what pisses me off the most.
I got y'all by at least, 2 or 3 years?
Give it to
12.
Johnny.
That's why I'm trying to get the hell up out of Chicago, man. The assault weapon ban is a bitch.
Right? I grew up on Augusta and Lawler.
Mm.
And I remember it was a couple of times before some shit went down. It would be somebody walking down the street from all the women and children get in the house. I don't know if y'all ever saw that or experienced that.
I saw that before.
I can't say I have.
I mean, it was even, I hate to say honor amongst thieves or whatever, but they had some type of couth about
That's what it was.
No little kids. These people just don't care now. And I'm sorry, y'all. It's some mild sauce right here, and I can't help it.
I know how to enjoy that shit. Mild sauce. Shit, the sauce is mild.
No,
I can dig it. Shit. But I get what you said, Eb. It's like, yeah, that may have been the case, you know what I'm saying? But the elements still existed. And see, what happens is the people that's getting up every day, the people, the hard work, that's minding their business, they fall victim to this shit. And that was my main concern to me for even bringing this to the forefront and bringing this to our show is because I want to know, and we're gonna cut it short right here. We're gonna get up out of here, but I want to know what is y'all's solution for the youth today, and we're gonna start with Dre.
There's so many things, man. We got to start with at least getting on one accord, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has to accept the fact that there is a problem. We see the problem and we allow media to dictate the problem. You know what I'm saying? And one, we got to understand that it goes on everywhere. That's one thing because we attack our own home so much, but it goes on everywhere. So I'm not saying normalize it because it's not normal. This ain't a normal way of life. But we have to get on one accord, man, and we have to get with like-minded individuals. I mean, us talking about it, that's everything starts with a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So gaining a perspective and then reaching out and just reaching the individuals who think like we do and just brainstorming on what we can do. Start things. You know what I'm saying? Start programs. Try to get with people who are in a position to open up maybe properties where we can have places to actually meet in person, things like that. And it's just a lot. It's not just a simple answer for that.
I agree. Johnny, what's your
He
solution?
wants to kill them all.
That is, and which brings me to my point. So everything that Dre said is absolutely correct. And all of that needs to happen in conjunction with us killing these motherfuckers. So we need to go, we need to make sure that these little sons of bitches know that you can't, if you gonna go fucking kill somebody, you better hit the right motherfucker. Because y'all out here hitting these babies and kids and mamas and little and sons who ain't had shit to do with it. No, if you're gonna kill somebody, go kill the right motherfucker. I personally don't give a fuck if you kill the right person. Now, if you kill somebody, if that's not the right person, no. If you're gonna be a criminal, goddamn it, be a good criminal. Kill the right person, and then you good. But if not, then you need to be dealt with. And the solutions to be dealt with is we got all these outside the streets. What I hear, right? What I hear is that it really ain't no organized crime no more in that sense, right? Gang ain't like it ain't like it ain't no chiefs and shit like back in the 90s, right? Okay, cool. All those chiefs and stuff, they in jail. So as unorganized as it is outside, once they go inside, they're gonna have to fall up under some type of flags. That generally how that works?
Probably, yeah.
Right.
Okay, I suppose that's how that works. So what that means is that we can start putting money on motherfuckers' books. Like somebody come in here and they kill like a little kid, like that girl who got shot at fucking McDonald's on Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Right. When those two guys, I think one of them died, but whenever they go to jail for that or whatever the case may be like that, hey, y'all fuck them up. Be sure y'all send a message. Get y'all shit together because once you come in here, shit's different.
Straight up. Ebony.
With the mothers.
Right on.
I mean, I like I said, we are the first teachers. We set that standard. We either we're protecting our children from something, we're teaching them something, or they're absorbing what we do. That's our accountability. That's my accountability. You know what I mean? We got to start with them while they're young. What they see, what they, what basically we have to protect them better. And by protecting them, it's also preparing them because while they're safe enough with us, we need to instill in them everything they need to go out there and protect themselves and prepare them.
Well, I will say this. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. My solution to close out, I would say, is accountability on the biological father or stepfather, whoever the man is. If there's in fact a man involved with the woman who has a child, and accountability on the part of the mother as well. Again, it kind of said, and I agree with y'all as well, but I also agree more so than anything that everything does start at home. I think it's the parents' responsibility to ensure that their kid is a productive citizen. if nothing else, to make sure that your kid is not on the street. Now, you can only do so much because, again, the child is going to decide what direction you want to go in. You can sit up there and get them. It can still turn out to not be shit. That just depends on that kid. However, you know, it's still your job. And I think what happened is, I can't remember who said this, but I think a lot of the parent or parents gave up on the children. We need these sperm donors, whatever, to step up and start becoming men. And we need these females to start just be accountable for yours. You know, I wouldn't be so much concerned about the feelings if you taking care of your business. This is your child. It's your responsibility. Now, once they get up age and they can get out on their own and do their own shit, that's another story. And my mother told me a long time ago, you never stop being a parent. I still go to my mother. I still go to my father. I'm 41 years old. So I'm saying, because we have that bond, we have that love, that respect, and I can rely on them for nothing else for a good word of advice. And I need that. I ain't got all the answers. Sure, y'all ain't got all the answers. And you need someone to talk to. And these kids need to be able to talk to these parents about anything, discuss anything, hash shit out, and get everything together, man. I think we could start there. We'll be okay, you know. But this is the Uncommon Sense Show. This is the second episode. And I'd like to close out with a song. Again, introduce everybody. Ebony over there.
Okay.
You know, try some shit. There's Johnny over there. And there's Dre over there. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace out.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Don't kill him, Johnny.
All right.